Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday night chat. I'm a little bit late on, only a minute. I've been sorting out some computer stuff and trying to download a few bits. I've noticed this light up here is a bit full on. Hang on a second. There we go. Is that better? A little bit. Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit late on. Just trying to sort out something on my laptop. It's kind of going nope. So just had to sort that out. But how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's okay. Had my fourth COVID jab today, and my arm is killing me at the minute. So let's get through some of the chat. Hi Dee, how's it going? And Mark as well. Hi Mark. And John Model Makers, thanks for coming and watching. So yeah, so what's been happening this week? Not a lot really. I also wanted to show you, obviously, my finished arm of my alien build, which I think I've shown before. But I also wanted to show you that I've glued that section there 2 or 3 times. It just will not. It just won't close up. But you know, it's quite a good hand. Not a lot of movement in it though, I've got to say. That's about it. So there's the arm. That's you can't get up anymore. It does turn, but that's it. And obviously you can see as well that that's not glued in properly. So, but I haven't glued that in properly just yet. But obviously that will get glued in once the full arm is complete. Just there. What do you think of the hand? I think it's all right. There's a few issues on it, obviously. The gaps here, but overall I think it's okay. Yep. Live long and prosper. So yeah, I've not really been doing too much this week in terms of build stuff. COVID has left wife feeling off. Yeah, me and my wife got asked today, but yeah, our arms are a bit like they hurt when you put it up and stuff like that, just like before. But it's been a year since I had my last one, so I've only had 4 at the moment of the COVID jabs. But when we were talking to people in the queue, they were saying that this was their 6th jab, and some of them were saying this was their 5th. So some of them are having I've been having more COVID jabs than me, but I wouldn't want to have 6. Seems a bit much. But yeah, there was 2 things I wanted to bring up tonight. Firstly, I've seen what is going to be in stages in the first box that you get from the Optimus Prime build from Agora, with issues with stages 1 and 2. They look okay. I think there's quite a lot of detail there. I mean, you're building the head and basically the whole front chest section. You know, when you look at it, there's not a lot left to build. So I'm wondering what is in the chest area. On the website, it does say that there's a lot of hidden detail. And I don't really like that hidden detail section, because we had that with the X-Wing, and there was a load of detail that was hidden away, never to see the light of day. And I think you're going to get that as well with Optimus Prime. I think you're going to build sort of engine parts and stuff like that, and then you'll encase it and you'll never see it again. So it looks quite a lot, especially the head. It does remind me of most part works in that it looks over-engineered for the sake of it. And another one of Agora I wanted to bring up today as well is the tank, the Leopard tank. I've seen lots of people who are not happy with their Leopard tank. A lot of problems. It seems like lots are having a lot of electrical issues. And I wanted to just discuss that tonight. I just thought, with the amount that you spend out on this, you would expect that part to be perfectly work well first time. also I was looking at a lot of other forums on Partworks as well, and this problem was present on the Agostini build of a similar tank, and it was the exact same problem that they had on there. So they haven't actually addressed that problem this time around either. It looks like they've just sort of copied that design slightly. So I don't know, but it lots of people, and I mean lots of people, were quite frustrated on that point because the amount of money that they've put down, and then the controller's not well. I see as well by a lot of the comments, it seems some people have got the same issue and other people have got different issues, but it's not very, it doesn't come across very well, because even though I think Agora are trying to sort the problem by sending out new CPUs and stuff like that, you would expect that that was something that should have been flagged beforehand. You know, it's, you know, if you got to think to yourself, if it was, say, Eaglemoss or Fanhome or something like that, I think there would be more of an uproar than there is over it. But I wouldn't be very happy if that was me personally, getting to the point where it's fixed and then it doesn't work, and then knowing that you have to go back and change it as well. Also, as well, I saw a lot of people saying that they got to the end stage and they had to unbuild it slightly to fix a problem with it, to rebuild it back up again. Once again, that doesn't seem really good, does it? It's not good at all. Hi Neil, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. Leopard tank can be bought for 500 RC on Amazon. Agora held a few issues with their model. Has had a few issues. Yeah, I've seen that. Like I said, it was funny because it flags up. I don't know what's the matter with Facebook at the moment, but I seem to be getting stories and comment at some messages come up on my notification from weeks ago. I don't know why that is. It doesn't. And also on my feed as well, I'm getting stories that were posted like Thursday, Friday. I don't know why I'm not getting a lot of the newer stuff feeds. So if I miss anything, it's because of Facebook, and I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I just saw a lot of people. It came up on my feed because normally it seemed like with that build, it seemed to be going fairly well, and then all of a sudden, a lot of people had this same problem, and I think because people were commenting and messaging on that Facebook group, it sort of started showing it more. So yeah. Neil, do you think that there's any chance we'll see the Willys Jeep in the UK now IXO have taken over Eaglemoss? I don't know if it's one of their builds. You got to think that Eaglemoss had a lot of builds, but I think only 4 or 5 of their builds, their Partworks, actually came from IXO. And it all comes down to licensing as well. So I don't know. But when Ben Robinson was talking about it, he said their top priority above everything else was the four things that were top of everything was Ecto 1, Enterprise D build, the Star Trek ships, and Doctor Who. Everything else was under that and were not a priority. He also said, which was quite interesting, that some builds may never come back out again for a long time. And I don't know if that means the Willy Jeep. You've got to think as well, the Willy Jeep is a reissue. So it's one that's been out before and then come back. But he did say, he said he was more optimistic of the ones that the 4 he said, but he said he was less optimistic about Eleanor and the DeLorean and things like that. But that doesn't mean that it's never going to come out as well. But he did say that they were less priority than the other ones. So, hi Ken, thank you, and thanks for coming from all that way as well to the channel. Hi Jay, how's it going? It's going well. It's going all right at the moment. Yeah, I've been having computer problems on my laptop. I'm trying to download something and it's not allowing us, but I think we've sorted it now. And obviously, as you know, I'm getting a new TV. and I've sorted out the sound bar and that I got with the TV. Yeah, so if if people want to know, I bought a new TV at the well, I think it was Thursday, but I had to order. I got a sound bar with it, and I had to order a unit as well. And I ordered them all at the same time, but they're all coming at different dates. So Friday the soundbar turned up. I mean, Friday the unit turned up that it sits on. Saturday the soundbar turned up, and Tuesday the TV's turning up. I only pay one price for delivery, but for some reason they're all coming on different dates. And don't give you the dates until you've been through and paid. So yeah. So that was what's been happening. I've been sorting out the sound bar and getting optical cable as well to sort of optimize it. It does run on Bluetooth, but I think it's a better sound quality when it's a direct connection. So that's what I've been sorting out today. But yes, all well here, Jay. But yeah, like I said, I just noticed that as well, and I see a lot of people as well commenting on Agora's fire engine as well. A lot of people said they were waiting for packages to turn up, and there had been quite a bit of a delay. I think that was the American side as well. Over the Europe side, I think there were a lot of them stuck in customs. Nothing you can really do there. But yeah, I that's what sort of I saw this week. There wasn't highly a lot going on. I did see someone from France building the ET. I weren't impressed at all. That does not look appetizing. There were a lot of comments about the glowing finger in that. A lot of blue comments, I got to say, about that. There was a lot of comedy comments as well that were made that were quite funny and stuff like that. So, but looking at the build itself, it doesn't look very good. It uses the same. It's actually a thinner rubber than what they use for this because of having to get the light through it. So it seems to have the same sort of rubber texture, but it's a lot thinner than this. We'll see how well the Alien turns out, but it seems to be doing pretty well. But then again, we've had problems with the rubber on this as well, so it's one to sort of think about, I think, when building it. But yeah, that's really what's been happening this week. Obviously, there was a mega announcement from the union at Royal Mail, so they're striking in November if it gets that far. 3 days every week in November, but they're different dates. So you've got one for network, one for processing, one for deliveries. But effectively, it's going to disrupt the whole system for 3 days. So yeah, the ET build looks cheap and nasty, not good quality. That's what it came across for me as well. It didn't look very good. It did, Jay. It did look very cheap. But it is just a test. But a lot of people seem to be quite sort of forthcoming with it. But there was a lot of blue comments about that part of the build, even though we've only had the first issue. And I think the second issue is the face. So a lot of people are you'll be able to see the sort of center part of his face and the rubber texture for that. It looks like it's going to be sort of like an endoskeleton, similar to the Alien build, and then a rubber put over the top of it. But it's going to have some functions, I think. I think it's going to be able to move as well, a bit like R2-D2. So it's going to have that sort of maneuverability. So yeah, but it does look cheap, I've got to say. Postal workers are hardworking and deserve a pay rise. Oh yes, of course they do. Yep, fully with them, 100%. If you knew, it's not just. This is another thing. I had a conversation actually with a lady that I was having my COVID jab with, and it's not just about pay rise. It's about the universal service as well. So universal service at the moment is that you get parcels and letters 6 days a week. That's the universal service. At the moment, they want to scrap that. So what they want to do is you get letters delivered 5 days a week, and you get them later in the afternoon or evening. They want people working out longer at night. So it means that posties will be working up to 5 o'clock in the evening. And obviously in the winter, that's dark. So they want more working out then. And they want parcels to be delivered 7 days a week. So it's not just about pay. It's about keeping the service as well, because if they dismantle the universal service, it also means that they would then go ahead and do other things as well. And we in Royal Mail, we think within about 20 years time, which is quite a long way away, but not really. I mean, time just comes along really quickly. Postmen will be a bit like the milkmen are now. You know, years ago we had milkmen, recycled bottles, and electric vehicles. And now a lot of people are like, do you remember when we used to have the milkman come every day? It will be exactly in 20 years time. It'll be the same with postmen. It'll be, do you remember when we used to have postmen and post every day? So it's like I said, there's a lot more than just a pay rise here. It's also on job security and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a growing sense in Royal Mail that within 20 years there won't be a postman anymore. You'll have to go. We expect, if they get rid of the universal service, we expect that you'll get every single household in the UK will get a PO box, and then you'll have your own PO box for every address, and then you'll have 10 days to go and empty that PO box, or it will get sent back. You know, they don't care about the elderly or disabled or anyone like that, or how far you live away from the post offices or anything like that. And I'm afraid if they go ahead with all of this, it could be the end of Royal Mail as we know it. It will just be a parcel company. You know, and we'll be sitting here saying, do you remember when we used to have postmen? Just like we do now when we say, do you remember when we used to have milkmen? So, yeah, that's my little rant on that. Got my COVID jab, COVID booster and flu jab tomorrow morning. Oh, lovely. All of them all at once. I've got to have my flu jab still, but I had my COVID booster today. So, yeah. Hi, Crafty Chris. How's it going? Nice for you to be here. It's nice to have you here. And Ian as well. Hi, Ian. I didn't say, did I say hello to you, Ian? I don't know. But hello, Ian. I have done your video as well. I will post it over, if it's okay, in the morning and get it all up to you as well. There's a cool little, I found a cool little thing. So a lot of places now are doing QR codes. So I found a place that creates QR codes, and I'm going to be using them more in my videos. So you can scan them and it will take you to places. But there's a cool little one in the video I've done for you, Ian. So I'll get that over to you in the morning. Hi, Peter. How's it going? Yep, no problem. Cool. Nice one. I'm good. That's really good to hear. That is good to hear, Chris. Hi, Peter. Hi, Jane. Chris. Yeah, so like I said, there's not much coming out. We're coming into October now, so I'm going to look to see what if there's any new part works starting up, because last month we had a lot of well, we only had the Lancaster here, but there was a lot of other sort of test runs done as well on Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons as well. Did anyone know about that one? That sort of crept in there. I haven't heard much about it, but there is a Dungeons and Dragons part work coming out as well. So it's based, I believe, on the original Dungeons and Dragons, though there's been sort of loads of different variations. And this shows you how to play it, gives you all the character pieces, boards, everything. That's a part work. That's a test build coming out. A test part work, I should say, not a test build, but a test part work. That was on a test. I think issue 2's out this week. Not too sure. I'll have to look into that as well if anyone's interested in that. So yeah, Any update on the Tumblr? Not yet. As soon as I get any information on that, I will let you know. But Hachette did send out an email not so long ago. I think it was in August, or it could have been July, August time, where they said it was going to be coming the end of this year or beginning of next. But it was definitely one of their builds that they're doing. But like I said, a lot of these companies bring at least 3 or 4 partwork builds out every year. So we know it's definitely coming. They've already announced that in an email. We'll have to see when, whether it's this year or next. I said it would work out better if it was next year into the new year. But you know, a lot of partworks tend to come out December, November time, don't they? January, February. They have that sort of 6-month window where they do their test runs and they bring out new builds as well. So yeah, like I said, perfectly honest, I don't actually know, but I know it's definitely coming out. So fingers crossed, it's soon. Batman has issue 1 to 3 free, I believe. I think that offers only up if you subscribed before on the test run, I believe. If you already signed up, I think it might not be, but they normally give at least 1 issue away, don't they? You get issue 1 at the newsagents, and then when you sign up, you get issue 2, and then you get issue 3 free. That's what normally happens. And then you get your binder and all of that sort of stuff. But I haven't looked into it too much yet because I don't think it's had its official relaunch, if you know what I mean. But you'll know, like I said, you know when it's out. I've mentioned it before. There'll be a TV ad and it'll be plastered all over the Hachette website as well. So it'll be pretty easy to find. But I will find out some information this week and report back on my Facebook page of any new test builds that are coming out or anything like that, anything of interest. And obviously I'll let everyone know as soon as the Batmobile or the Tumbler comes out. In terms of the Batmobile from Eaglemoss, I think that's pretty dead, but they have said that all the tooling is done. So it's not a case of building the whole tooling for it. It's a case of a company getting the license and then bringing it out. But Ben Robinson mentioned that it was very, very difficult to get the license for it, and he said he didn't expect it ever to come out because of how difficult the license was to get. But there's always hope, I suppose. There's hope. There's hope. There's always hope, isn't there? It's all you got to be at the minute with everything that's like it's the economy is like so bad at the moment. It's unreal. We're floating down a rapid, I think, in just a dinghy. At the minute, it can only get better. It can't get any worse, surely. Famous last words, I suppose. Yeah, so there's that. I'm going to do an order, I think, this week for more Alien build and Robocop. I'm hoping we'll see how everything goes because there's a lot of talk at the moment as well because I know people that run comic shops and stuff like that and do figures and all that sort of stuff, all that sort of collector stuff. And I know one person, Action Figure Planet, if you watch them, Aaron runs it, awesome guy. But he's actually now stopped all new figures coming in now because of it'll just cost him too much to import them. He's suspended it, and he's hoping that within a couple of months it will sort itself out, and the exchange rate will be better, and then he'll be able to start up again. But he said he's got loads of stock in, but at the moment it's costing him a lot of money. He said, before the pound went, he was doing orders for £40,000 for like action figures and 1/6 scale stuff. And he said now it's going to cost him an extra £8,000. So it'd be, £40,000 instead of 40,000. and he said it's too much money, because he said he would either have to pass that on to us lot, or he would have to absorb it, and he said it's too much for him to absorb, and he said he's already competitive at the moment and he doesn't want to put the prices up, so he's suspending it. So quite a good thing really, but it means it's impacting his business because he won't get any new stuff in because it's just costing too much. But he said markets have gone up and down before, and we've seen this sort of thing, so he's hoping it goes back up so he can get back to doing the stuff that he likes to do and sell. But yeah, I'm going to have a look this week at ordering more Robocop and Alien, and I'm going to see on the exchange rate how that works out. But either case, I've got to do it anyway because I need to get more of the Alien build here, so I can start building it. I have said, like I said, it finishes in March, so I have said whatever happens, I'm going to finish it in March, like the people in France as well. And it'll be same for Robocop. Robocop finishes in September next year, and I will finish that in September like everybody else. So even though I'm a bit behind, by then I'll be up to speed. So you'll probably get a load of videos bombarded at you at some point where I bought the whole lot up to that issue, and just to try and get it out to you guys so you can see what it's like. Because I think the Alien build is going to come out soon. It's a popular one. I think it's definitely got its merit. But like I said, there's a lot of builds that have come out elsewhere but still haven't here. So like the Gran Torino, Starsky and Hutch run still hasn't come out here. I'm surprised by that. Another build that was tested was the King Tiger tank, which is the Hachette version, a bit like the Leopard tank with the smoke effect, the camera in the turret, and remote control. And that still hasn't come out, so we don't know how well that did. So there's a few stuff that came out a while ago now. We're talking like this time last year, maybe even longer, and they haven't come out yet. But like I said, these companies are very, they're very observant. They should know, with the certain climate that we're in, not to overstretch themselves and us as well, because if they overstretch us, then it means they're not going to get that sort of money back, if you know what I mean. So they're sort of, maybe they're weighing up their options on what to bring out over here, but at the moment it's not looking good because it's going to cost them more to get it. It's going to cost us more, them more. It's not a good situation, but we'll see. Like I said, the only one that's been announced so far is the Agora one, and we know it's coming out in January, I believe, but for Optimus Prime, but we don't know yet. Oh, they've worked the laptop. My wife's been trying to sort it out, and she's now done it. So
yeah, done. It was a lot of hassle.
Not doing any more tracks on the tank. Well, we're so frustrating on the Leopard. Yeah, it's all the little pins. I suppose it's quite reminiscent because if you've watched any sort of program or anything like that, I'll tell you what's a really good one. If you're on Facebook, type in Tanks A Lot. There's a guy there that reconditions and sells tanks, and he's really fascinating to watch. It's called Tanks A Lot, and actually the way that the tanks were built with the individual tank treads, that's exactly how they're built on the real ones. So you can imagine when you're building one and how they built one, every individual tank tread is obviously made as well in the sort of a similar way. So yeah, I understand. Howdy everyone. Hiya, how's it going? The wife's up finishing the tracks. Yeah, the wife ends up finishing the track. Yeah, I think you'd probably need a lot of help with that because of how many you've had to do and get. So yeah, yep. But what has everyone got? Like, what's everyone's plan to build sort of going forward? I know, like I said, we know two for definite. We know, Optimus Prime and the Tumbler. Obviously, there might be a few more coming out. There was talk of them doing the Millennium Falcon again as well. Like I said, the two I'm building at the moment. And I'm obviously doing the Dodge Charger as well and the Disney Dollhouse. Nothing has caught my eye yet coming out or anything like that. So oh, my daughter wants to say goodnight. All right. Yeah? You're going up to bed? It's a bit early, isn't it?
I know. The other one's already up there.
It's a bit early. Oh. Right. See you later. Bye. I'll come up and see you in a minute. I'm waiting for pack 2 of the Ferrari. Nice. I've just started R2 from Fanhome, first ever Partwork model. The R2D2 is actually a really good model. I did the original one through the Agostini. Still got it today. It still works. But it was really good. There were some frustrating bits on it. Putting in the blue panels on the dome, and when it's all complete, putting the dome for the first time and putting all the wires in and getting all that. That was probably the 2 most difficult things. The wheels and stuff like that were also okay, the legs and stuff like that. But it's fine. It's one of those builds where it takes up a lot of space before you sort of connect it. You sort of squeeze it together. Because obviously you get the 2 body parts and the legs, and they're all separate, and you sort of connect it very early on, like very late on, should I say? Very late on, you sort of connect it up. But it's on display upstairs with the Route Master and the DeLorean and the original Mustang from the Agostini that they done long time ago up there as well. Waiting for the Rossio. Oh, right, the Valentino Rossio bike. Yeah, you should get yourself over to Partwork Upgrades, John. They've got some really good mods there, and a really good deal at the moment on that as well, where you get the dust cover, the decals as well, and a little sound chip for a fantastic price. It's definitely worth checking out, I've got to say. I have my original R2 on display. Yeah, the R2 is really good. I like the features on it. The fact that you can control it through the app, and it's got the camera, and the really cool fact as well that it's got the projector, and that works really well. But I mean, when you test that sort of early on in the build, it never worked, and that's because the test board isn't powerful enough to show both of the clips. But then we were all assured that it would work. It did work. So all good in the end. But yeah, I would point out for that one. I'm starting the Tumbler at about the same time as Iron Man finishes, hopefully. Yeah, Iron Man is due to finish very soon as well. So the Tumbler sort of could work really well with that coming in. So yeah, it sort of works out really well. I would love to build the Tumbler, but I've said to myself, I need to finish one of my Partworks before I start another one, and then it comes down to space as well, and I'm not too sure where I would place that. Optimus Prime, the Agostini's Optimus Prime, the movie Optimus Prime from the live action movies. I have to keep saying that because it's when you say Optimus Prime, you could think of Gora. When you say movie, you've got the 80s movie or live action, the Agostini Optimus Prime. If that comes out, which we're hoping is soon, probably before the end of the year, I'd have to get that. I might have to stretch and think about getting that, I think. The good thing is from France is that I can buy a few, leave it a couple of months, and then buy a lot more and do it that way. Meaning I can finish off the Alien and then sort of maybe start that one up in March, all depending on when it finishes. But maybe it even finishes just as this is finishing. That starts just as this was finishing. That would work perfectly, that would. But yeah, how do you find the Iron Man as well? Because I remember when a lot of people finished that over in France, there was a lot of problems. A lot of people found a lot of problems with the hip joint for its standing. And I know a lot of people said that they had trouble standing it. And that's why I think a lot of people went for the super pose, or the Superman pose is what they call it, which is him obviously down on the floor in that sort of crouch position. But it looks really good. I need to really. That's another build that I've got on hold, and I've got the part. I've built up to. I think it's issue 16 or 17. So, and all of those issues are still on France. So effectively, I could still carry on building that. I'd like to build it. It's just one of those builds that sort of got behind, and then I sort of dumped it really badly. I sort of dumped it for doing RoboCop and the Alien build. We'll see what that comes, but yeah, I've ordered. Do I show my full set? Nice one. Well done, Peter. Iron Man's still in bits after 86 issues. Yeah, I don't think you start putting it together. Yeah, I think the chest, the arms, the head, and the legs, I don't think they get put on until really near the end. I'll tell you what, they are a bit cheeky, I've got to say, with the RoboCop build. So RoboCop's, I think it's on issue 52, 53. And issue 53 is the stand. So you get a standard stand with it. And I haven't really kept up with the Iron Man build, but you do get a standard stand with that as well. But issue 52 and I think 53 are just the stand. So I think you get one side, and then the next issue you get the other side. Obviously stretching that one out. But I'm wondering if they did that with like they did the same thing with the Iron Man build. I know that they did in one of the issues. It was just the little finger, and it was just putting a screw in and putting that on. They do like stretching this out, don't they? They really do. Haven't got there yet. The limbs all go together right at the end, but I've made sure the joints all pretty stiff. Yeah, I did. Like I said, Baz, there was a lot of people over in France that had lots of problems because obviously the torso is quite heavy, and they had. I know it comes with a stand anyway, but a lot of people would have liked it freestanding without the stand, and there was reported problems with it actually holding the weight and the legs sort of going like this. Yeah, I'll show you one Optimus Prime here. So as you stood it, the legs just went like this because the hip joints here were very, very loose. So it was just something that they were discussing about, and I thought I'd just mention. Though lots of people seem to have. I don't know what it is. It all depends on how stiff you make these and stuff like that, and if you followed the stuff. Some people said they found they had very loose joints. Other people said they had very stiff joints. So it all depends. But I think the problem that a lot of people were saying was that the torso was very heavy, and the legs couldn't hold the weight, so they were just sort of doing this as you put it down. But it does come with a stand, so just use the stand, I would say. But a lot of people want it without the stand. They want it freestanding, which is understandable as well. But yeah, it's always worth to check these things as you're going forward. A friend of mine gifted parts 1 to 38 of Eleanor. Now just waiting for another company to produce the rest. Yeah, we don't know what's happening with that yet. It may get picked up, it may not. It's one of those ones where they don't really know. And they had a lot of builds out as well like that. Like the Nissan and stuff like that, and I think they're very low down on the priority. But there's always another company could come along. I don't think they'll like get rid of that. I don't think you'll ever not see it again. A lot of these part works are now being, that haven't come out for years are now starting to reappear, like the Subaru Impreza, things like that. I'm waiting for the Lancia Delta. That was a really cool build that came out. And they're sort of bringing out a lot of those older builds again. Same with the Titanic as well. It's worth noting that the wooden Titanic that Eaglemoss did was a re-release one from when Hachette did it. D'Agostini are also bringing out a lot of their old builds as well, a lot of their old ships as well. So I would say never on any build. As long as when Ben was talking about it, he said as long as the tooling is done for the whole build, he goes, it's just a matter of picking up the license, because he said all the money is spent on the tooling. He says once you've got the tool in, it's easier to redo models and to redo stuff because you're not paying all that money up to have the tool in done. So I would never say never on that. Watch this space. You know, he said on Twitter this week that October's going to be a good month for ex-Eaglemoss Partworks. So it's worth looking out. Yeah. Wish I had done the alien build. Didn't realise it was so big. Oh yeah. It's. I don't have. I mean, the arms. I mean, it's got skin on it. So if I can turn the thingy like this, and you can see the difference in the arm. I mean, his leg. I think I've done it before. I think I did it on the video D. His leg is up here. So when his leg is straight, it's up here. So he's going to be, I would say, 60, maybe even taller, 60 centimeters. I would say taller than the Terminator is. Actually, I should really turn my Terminator on, shouldn't I? And look at that, the batteries don't even work. I know he changed them last week. They've gone again. Well, that lasts long. And the problem is you can't. They must have. They've got a monopoly. Like this has got a monopoly in the glue company. They've got a monopoly on batteries on this. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd turn him on. Not like that. So yes. Hey Mark, hope all is well. Yep. Hope all is well as well, Mark. Actually, now is it actually your birthday or is it Mark Mod's birthday? I had it come up on my phone. Obviously, I put happy birthday, but I weren't too sure if it was your actual birthday. So obviously, you're down as a friend of mine, and it hasn't come up. It's your actual birthday. So I'm wondering if it's Mark's Mod's birthday. If you know what I mean. Similar to like my birthday and the Nexus's birthday is totally different. So I'm wondering, is that because I wished you happy birthday? If it was your actual birthday, I would have messaged to say on your actual Facebook happy birthday, but I don't think it was. So I just wanted a bit of clarity. That was all. I was like a bit like, isn't it Mark's birthday? It's coming up as Mark's Mod's birthday. So I was a bit confused. So, but if it is your birthday, happy birthday. I hope you got some good stuff. Now, my wife is not very happy because in regards to my birthday. Now, it's not because I pissed her off, no. Though I do that quite a bit apparently. It's because she pre-ordered all the Star Trek merch, so all the new figures and the ship and the phaser, and we're still waiting. And my birthday was the end of July, and she pre-ordered them in June, and we're still waiting. They were supposed to be released in July, and everyone is still waiting. Apparently, the release date is October. I'm hoping, but as soon as they come, I'll be doing reviews on them. So, Kev, do what Horlick's done on his T800, and he done a video on this on the video. Yeah, I do need to. I have seen the video, and I need to really do it.
You've got a load of crap coming up.
But
can people get rid of it, please? They're just pumping it quickly.
Because no, what's all this coming up? Right, okay.
Someone needs to get rid of it all.
Yeah, we'll ignore all that. But
thank you to whoever got rid of that.
Did you hear that? Well, I said thank you to whoever got rid of that. I don't know what's going on there. I noticed a lot of this sort of stuff though. As you get more, as your subscriber count goes up, you get a lot more of this. You get more of all this. So the more popular they get, the more rubbish you get. But I suppose that's the way the cookie crumbles, as I say. But yeah, I really do need to sort it out. I'm sort of at the point of where it's like, okay, I've sort of lived with that problem, where I should really change that. The bots have woken up. Yes, definitely, Peter. Yeah, they love it, didn't they? I had to do that actually on my. I was quite annoyed because someone done the same thing on the Enterprise D build, and they just went on every comment. So I blocked them, obviously, because any stuff like that you get blocked. But it didn't take away the comments. So I spent all of Sunday morning for a good hour, really, of just deleting comments, and they really went for it. They were posting on stuff that was like over a week old, just on every comment, and it was like, oh, I had to do it. I had to do it, you know. And then I got to the end, and I was like, is this the last one? I think it's the last one. But yeah, it gets annoying, but it's something that it's got to deal with it. You know what it's like. But yes, thank you for whoever did that. I got rid of that. Thank you for that. So yeah, there's not really a lot. Well, hopefully no more spam. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully I will. There is some new stuff coming out in October. We don't know. We'll see what comes out. Like I said, this September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That's their window of bringing out new builds and testing new builds. We had the Lancaster, so I'm wondering what we could see next time. It's interesting as well because when Hachette about 2 or 3 years ago, I think they put an email out, didn't they, asking what people would like to build. The Lancaster was actually on that, and so was the subway, wasn't it? The subway, the underground train, and yeah, Monty Python. Yeah. Hopefully a big foot comes down and goes. But where was I? I've completely gone off now.
Lots of woke up, Jane.
Yeah. I've completely gone off track now. It's my old age. I mean, look at this. Look, I'm going very grey. I'm not even 40 yet. Next year. I'm going grey gracefully. But yeah, one of them was on this list. They brought out loads, didn't they? I think the London Taxi was one of them. I think it was a 1960 rolling stock of London Underground, but a lot of people didn't like that. I would have preferred not the silver one. I think that was on the Central line, but more of like the Metropolitan one, which is the classic white, red, and blue. I do believe it is. Is that right? Someone help me out here. Yeah, the original. I would have preferred an 80s one, but I think the 60s one is the red maroon color one. And I think people said it was good. They wanted London Underground, but not that one. But once again, what sort of size could that be? Could that be like the same size as the Route Master? That'd be quite a good size. I mean, but then it's finding a place to put it. I'm still very hopeful, fingers crossed, that we get the Hogwarts Express. But finding out what I found out last week, we all might have played a part in it not coming out. So, Peter went grey at 16. I started going grey. 24, 25. Yeah.
I've only started over last year.
That's and my wife's only started going grey over the last year, and she's 3 years older than me. So yeah. Yeah, on my dad. I think my dad started going grey when he was in his 20s as well. So they say, don't they, you either go grey or bald.
No. That's not the way it works.
And I wouldn't care whatever, really. I mean, I'm quite thin anyway on top, but
my brother's gone grey and going.
They always that's what they always say. That's what they say anyway. I think I could pull off a Picard hairstyle, couldn't I? I think so. What does everyone also as well? I wanted to ask, what did everyone think of the new Star Wars on Disney Plus? I've only watched the first episode. I haven't really got around to watching the other episodes, but I've only seen the first one. What's it, Alan Erindor, isn't it? I'm butchering that. You know what I'm on about. I haven't seen the rest of the series. I'm They brought out 3 episodes, didn't they? And a new one dropped this week, so that's 4. But I've only seen the first 2. So D. I only started Grey when I met the missus. Yeah. Never seen Star Wars. How have you got this far? We've not even seen it. Arendor. Arendor, is that? Andor. If it was something to do with Star Trek, I'll probably get it straight away. Andor, that's it. Yes. They said it's a slow burner anyway. But I have seen the first episode. It was okay, but there's so much out at the moment, and there's not enough time in the day to watch it all. And I like watching stuff in the evening. But obviously, you know, in the evening, I've been watching. Obviously, Taskmaster. Anyone who hasn't seen Taskmaster, watch it. It's the funniest. I've watched it for years, and it's a brilliant series. And actually, Alan, the Taskmaster, I should say, doesn't live far away. Alex Horn, who does it with him, he lives in Chesham, which is only up the road from me. And they do a lot of Taskmaster stuff actually in Chesham. They did one this weekend, actually, at Chesham Football Club. So there's that. I like watching that. And then on Fridays, if you haven't seen it with Alan Carr, you've got I Literally Just Told You, probably one of the best game shows I've ever seen. So they give you all the answers, and it's a sort of a memory game, and it's really gripping. Like, you really get into it. You sort of like, and then you start thinking, what was that? What did he just say? How many? What, you know? It's really cool. So if you haven't seen Taskmaster, I'd say definitely go and see it. And obviously, I Literally Just Told You. But like I said, I like watching stuff in the evening, and it's trying to get to watch that sort of stuff in the evening as well. And it's like trying to fit everything in. It's a bit difficult. And then, you know, I work during the day, and the kids are about and stuff like that. So it's trying to balance everything. So yeah, definitely a Silver Fox. Thank you. Endor is a bit slow but watchable. Do you know what? I found that with one of the other ones they did. It started off fairly slow. Not the Mandalorian, but there was another show. What was it? It was another Star Wars show that they did. That was a very slow starter. Do you know what? Actually, I've got to say that the last 2 episodes of She-Hulk have been quite slow. Really, I don't know what they both seemed like filler episodes. But yeah, I'm hoping it picks up. It's only got another 2 episodes left, so I'm hoping that it picks up. Everyone's saying hello to you. I have the memory of a goat. Do you know what? If you watch a show called I Literally Just Told You, sometimes they're really good at it, and other times not. But basically, they do little things during the show, and they ask the contestants questions. Then later on, they ask you what they said, and you have to remember. And some bits come to you straight away, and other times you're like, I literally don't know. And it's a really good show. It's on its 2nd season as well. John, that was it. Yeah, Boba Fett. Well done. Yeah, that was another one that was a very slow burner, and then it sort of got it got very good actually near the end, didn't it? Where he was defending the town and stuff. But yeah, that perfect. Yeah, you just remind. Yeah, that was a very slow burner at the start as well. So watched and being filmed when I lived in Fleetwood. Cool. I know they do. They film a lot of stuff all over England. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, that's what just wanted to ask that, because I know it was out last week, and I wanted to know. But like I said, I've only watched the first episode, but I know they're going a bit like they go a bit crazy with the droids, didn't they? So we had R2, and then we've got BB-8, Then we got Dio, which I've got somewhere. Then there was Lola. There was Grogu first, wasn't there? Obviously, and then they've gone a bit mad for Lola, and then I saw the droid in the very first episode. The best way of describing it is like the Henry Hoover, like little Henry Hoover, and I instantly said, you're going to get loads of stuff on that. And I think Hasbro Plus have just announced a load of stuff as well. Oh, and they've also just announced a load of Indiana Jones figures, which have all sold out already. So they're going to be popular. The building used is the public toilets and CAF. Oh, wow, cool. I know, I think it was in one of the episodes, they used the McLaren head office, didn't they? Now the McLaren head office is in Milton Keynes, so I know that they used that because someone posted a picture of it looked like the McLaren head office, but then they transformed it into like some sort of spaceport. Like I said, I haven't seen past episode 1, but someone posted that, and obviously I know that the McLaren headquarters is in Milton Keynes, so they obviously filmed some there. But I like the fact that they film a load of that sort of stuff here in the UK, because that's where they first filmed it, didn't they? At Elm Street Studios. And I love the fact that they honour that, and they say, right, we need loads of English actors, and we need to keep it is. Oh, is it in Woking, Surrey? Oh, right, okay. What is in Milton Keynes then? Isn't there an F1 in Milton Keynes? Because I always thought McLaren was in Milton. Or was that Red Bull? Am I getting completely mixed up here? I know that there's a headquarters, an F1 headquarters in Milton Keynes. I always thought it was McLaren, you know. It's Red Bull. I'm getting them mixed up. I'm getting them mixed up. I knew there was one of them, but like I said, I thought it might have been McLaren, but that's in Surrey. I'm sort of in the wrong direction here. But yeah, they seem to like putting these little droid people, didn't they? And like people just go crazy on Grogu. Definitely, everyone's gone absolutely mad for him. And the next one is Lola. Even my wife, even Kirsty, she's got a load of Grogus, but she's now ordered the fully interactive Lola, which is like 91 quid. But oh yeah, sorry. But it's fully interactive, and I will do a video on that when it comes. But she's ordered that as well. As soon as she saw that, she was like, I want that. I want little Lola. So I was like, before they even brought it out, she was like, I want a Lola. And then they announced that they were bringing out 2 versions of it, and one of them was like a fully interactive one where the legs come on and off it, and it sort of talks back to you. It's sort of completely interactive. It should be at that price as well. It should be a proper flying one that does stuff. But yeah, so if when that turns up, I'll do a video on that as well. I've got all my Star Trek stuff sitting in the warehouse somewhere. As soon as I get that, I'll be doing videos on that as well. But anyway, look, I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and coming on and talking. I love doing this. Obviously, I'm going to be back next week. There will be videos this week of some kind. You know, the Dollhouse is coming along really well, so there's going to be Dollhouse Charger build, and obviously videos in between as well. But like I said, I have to say thank you so much for all of you coming and having a chat. I'll be back next week at the same time. Like always, I'll be back here next week. So take care, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Take it easy.